If a test captain had done what Eoin Morgan has done in the last 2 years with the test team, so taking a test team from nothing to potentially winning an Ashes series from nowhere or competing with the best teams in the world, with all the other teams around the world fearful of the England test team, he would have been honoured by now. You know, he'd be given flats, he'd be getting endorsement deals. You know, so Eoin Morgan deserves that same amount of credit. He has taken this one-day team from the gutter. It really was in the gutter, and probably a bit below that. And suddenly we go to wherever we play in the world, we go with not just a hope of winning. We expect the team to play well and win, but it's actually in a joyful way arriving at the ground. I mean, I arrived to watch England play knowing that we're going to get entertained. I know that whatever happens, England will go out and play the right style. It might not come off, they might lose. They certainly won't go down one, dying of playing the right way.
Michael Holding said you're getting all these runs because the ball is not flipping moving. But is it also that the primary weapon is reverse swing? With the two new balls, the balls aren't reversing enough?
Yeah.
And so the bowlers are almost toothless as a result. We saw in the IPL that whoever was moving the ball off the straight was taking wickets, whether it was swing or wrist spin.
Yeah, and I think the game probably needs to have a look at that to allow the bowlers back into the contest. Whether they go back to this one white ball and the ball does deteriorate, softens, reverse swing, which I think is one of the pleasures of the game, not to face, but to watch and see. I think reverse swing is something that we need back in the game, particularly in the white ball arena. I don't think we see enough of it. So maybe they could go back to that. You know, pitches are also crucial. I'm not saying this, but I think when you see some of the wickets in India that offer spin, it makes it interesting. We saw a tremendous one-day series, England versus Bangladesh in Bangladesh. The wickets just did something. It made it that if you played well, yes, you can still get the 300s, but you know what, little spinners and leg spinners come into their own. We do see a little bit more reverse swing because of the nature of the 22 yards, but you know, I do think the game potentially has to start looking at how we can give the bowlers just a little bit something back. You go back a few years with those seam, I mentioned the tall thing, you could get a bit of seam, you get nothing. Bats are a bit bigger, boys are a bit stronger, balls coming off the bat at a rate that they're not.
Yeah, the mind is freer.
Correct, they don't even care about a boundary rider. You put a boundary rider, it's like, what's that? I just hit it over the top.
I remember saying once that there used to be a certain reverence for the boundary line. And now there's only irreverence because you see a fielder there and you say it doesn't really matter.
30 for 3 in my time, you're struggling to get 250. 30 for 3 now, they're only ever a partnership away from getting 330, 350. And I think because the mindset is that they all just go for it. So you look at your batting order and you go, right, from 1 to 8, we've got strikers. And I think the message from what I see is all of you go and play. And we'll just gamble that 3 of you, 2 of you potentially with the big scores of 3 of you with a nice 60s, 70s comes off at a strike rate of 110 plus, you're going to get 320 plus. And I think that's the right mindset.